Happy New Year? Like, what's the cutoff time for Happy New Year? Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Legacy Speaks. Between the news and the demands of work and all the inner workings of one's personal life, these can get a little bit over the top for us, and honestly, it's a little too soon for all of that. So in honor of Mental Wellness Month, today we are talking about how to protect our mental health. But before we jump right in, I need you guys to hit that subscription button below. That way you can stay up to date on newly released content on a regular basis. So let's dive right in. First things first, establishing boundaries. A boundary is a limit that we do not want others to cross. Think of it as setting up guardrails or safety cones in certain areas of our lives. Oftentimes we come across those special groups of people who really like to test our patience by overstepping our boundaries, at which point we have to decide on how to properly address these instances. This is extremely important because it's one thing to recognize our limits and drawing the line, but it's another thing to maintain them. And this is something that a lot of people struggle with for various reasons. So a few questions you should ask yourself are, what can I deal with? What can I absolutely not tolerate? How am I going to communicate these needs clearly to other people? How will I react when others don't comply or acknowledge my boundaries? In what ways can I still function despite my boundaries being ignored? And what changes need to be made so that I can still feel safe in this situation? And this just doesn't apply to our relationships and interactions with other people. We often have to set boundaries and limits for ourselves because, let's be honest, we can sometimes be our very worst enemy. Thinking about texting that ex-babe that you know just is not good for you? Boundary. Woke up ready to get petty after reading an annoying coworker's email? Boundary. Planning to turn up even though your bank account is screaming? Hold up. Boundary. Whatever it is for you, just go ahead and start reevaluating your life right now. It's okay. It's a judgment-free zone, guys. It's okay. From my experience with working with patients on this topic, establishing boundaries is difficult for some people because they are either struggling with self-confidence issues or low self-esteem. Learning to trust yourself and your decisions is crucial, and it definitely takes time. So it's okay to take baby steps. Start off with something small by assessing what you're able to handle and how much of it. Also, remember what I said about reevaluating. Not only do we change, but our needs change as well over time. So it's okay to remain flexible within reason. The second method for protecting your mental health is self-care. Channeling your time and energy into something that is more productive and rewarding really does wonders. And it can be a range of things like exercise, reading, learning a new skill, or simply sitting down in a park and enjoying the atmosphere. Whatever it is, make sure that it's both non-competitive and self-fulfilling. It shouldn't be anything that creates anxiety or stress, but rather gives you time to reconnect with the self. Next step in protecting your mental health is creating a social support system. As human beings, we are not, and I repeat, we are not meant to go through this thing called life alone. Support groups, group counseling, and even self-help groups are prime examples of how social support can truly make a difference throughout the therapeutic process. Not comfortable with groups? Well, that's fine, but don't count yourself out so quickly. Whether it's a family member, friend, co-worker, church leader, sponsor, whoever, find at least one or two people who have proven to be responsible and trustworthy to contact periodically. Keep in mind though, it is important to find someone with well intentions and good energy that will encourage you to engage in more positive behavior. Surrounding yourself with those who could potentially bring you down even further is a no-go. Let's be real, a recovering addict doesn't hang out with the same people who they used to use with. A person who's trying to reduce their anxiety doesn't remain in the company of those who constantly obsess and worry about what's going on in the news. You get my drift? So the key word in social support system is support, okay? Remember that. Before we wrap up, this literally just popped in my head, but I highly recommend you identifying resources that cater to your specific needs. There are a number of mental health organizations that provide crisis hotlines, networks, and support groups for whatever you're experiencing. A number of them can be found through NAMI, SAMHSA, or even your local hospital or county websites. I provided some links in the description box below, so definitely check those out. Also, stay connected via Legacy SPKS on everything, where I'll be sharing articles, links, and contact information for a number of national organizations. Let's keep the conversation going. What efforts have you been taking to protect your mental health? Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Legacy Speaks, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And like I said, stay connected via Legacy SPKS on everything. Until next time.